What is up, gamers? It is your boy Ematix here with another VoD review. Today we're going to be looking at iZines, I think that's how it's said, Diamond 1, playing Cypher, and that's my main, and we're playing on Bind, one of my favorite maps. So this is going to be a fantastic VoD review, I can already tell. I'm going to know so much, I'm going to be able to give you so much. Be sure you take some notes, write some things down that I say, and if you have any questions at the end, feel free to message me, whether on Discord, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, wherever you can find me. Send me a message, I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Anyways, let's hop in right into the VoD review. Starting here, I'm going to fast forward it to the pistol round.
However pretty their lies are, they're just sucking my city dry.
And let's see here, you're going towards B. Okay, so usually when we have the Cypher towards B, there's a couple ways we can play this, right? And a majority of the time you're going to see this be played in more of a retakey way when you get into higher levels. Now, if you guys are going to put 3 here, right, I would recommend Cypher maybe going towards A instead, and then the Sova coming here, because you want to kind of keep both your info gatherers on opposite sides of the map in order to get info on both sides. But I digress. All right, like it can be played anyway. 3 here with Cypher is fine. Like you just gotta kind of change it up in how you play, and maybe set up your trips in a way for it. If your teammates die, they're gonna run in, and you need to capitalize off those kills when they run into your trips.
Wait, you actually dropped so much.
Maybe I should stop streaming.
You know the cam here, dude?
Yeah. Stop
I
streaming.
know.
Wait, what are your settings right now?
Like you can put it up.
Okay, so how I usually like to do this, right, is I'll put a trip long, and I'll put my camera, sorry, in hookah, right? That way I can maintain log control, because they won't push up unless they're going to be close, and they'll break in, and I can stay on my cam in hookah, so I know they're not in hookah, right? But because you have 3 here, what I would recommend is probably putting your camera where they're saying they're going. You kind of hide in tube, let these guys fight for hookah, and then you kind of just contest long as they're coming out, because what's going to eventually probably happen is they're going to see there's 2 hookah, and they'll probably run long if they're going to hit B, right? Those guys are going to come in quick. So what I would actually do is take that trip off there, put it somewhere where you can peek off of it, as well as the cage once they run into it, because you're going to use your camera to spot here, it looks like, right? Let them run in, right? Put your trip somewhere, and then as soon as you see them run in and they hit the trip, you just get off your cam and swing and kill them, hopefully, right? That's what I would imagine is going to happen, right? But again, we're playing Diamond. Not a lot of people know how to play properly. Like, these 2 guys might not know how to, like, they have to hard contest hookah here when there's 3 on B. So, again, let's just kind of see what happens here.
You jump put it from here.
Wait, what is your height?
Are we not waiting for Hayo?
It's not bad.
Are you on all high?
Hayo's playing?
I'm co-vaxing.
Okay.
I'm gonna DM after.
So, like try and put it behind, yeah.
Okay,
Jump
so
and
do
just
we wait?
click around.
Never mind.
No, you guys
I
go play
can't
one.
seem to get it. I only know this one here.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay, so
Hayo
that's
can
back
play
here.
with us. Like,
I can see your FPS spiking a lot.
Yeah.
I think I know the problem already.
No, it's not.
Spike planted.
Nice.
Oh
Stop
my.
streaming, just record.
Why is
I can flash it.
Stop streaming.
Thinks it's doing it again?
There's 2 you all.
What?
Oh, I hate this freaking computer.
Should they be watching?
I don't want to play Haven.
Reloading.
Alright, no reason to put your cam there. I would either use my cam to maybe go showers or not even throw it at all. It's a 5v3. What we need to do here is be going in and grouping up together and trading out, or just getting on site, because it looks like they all ran off the site. Just defusing the bomb with your cage.
One enemy remaining.
Alright, and we win that round. Very clean, very simple, right? We don't need to do anything extra.
That goes there.
Go back to my map now.
Can you go Cypher?
Oh, this is a nice spot.
Anxiety. I don't know how to say your name.
Yes, this should do.
Who do you play? What should I call you, by the way?
No way.
Alright.
You play Omen? Any chance?
Oh, there.
Alright, we're just gonna rewind that for a second and just talk about spray control and trigger discipline, right? Obviously spray control, controlling the spray into, so it lands relatively in the same area, right? And then trigger discipline, knowing when you're supposed to shoot, also knowing what type of style of shooting to shoot. Do I tap? Do I burst? Do I spray it down, right? And so let's just slow this down to about half speed here, and we'll see what happens once they get contact, right? So for some reason your Reyna dismissed, like that's her bad. Like she shouldn't have dismissed there when the Jet's there, right? She should just healed baited them in, and then the Jet kills them. But anyways, we come here, right? Your crosshair was like kind of touched the head, but then like look how the spray pattern goes. Like you're spraying, but it's not landing where you want it to be right here. It's going all over the place. And then you try to flick over, obviously, like so you're just fucking. Really, if this opponent was the wall, you'd probably be fucking the opponent. Like they'd be dying. But obviously the wall's here protecting them. And what you need to be doing here instead of maybe spraying like this is tapping. You see the tip of their head, you should be tapping. If you see their body, like half their body like this, because he's gonna fall down. You only see the upper half. Bursting is the most ideal shooting if you're gonna see half their body. That's usually the rule of thumb I use. If I see head, I tap. If I see their upper body, I burst, right? And if I see their full body, I'll spray. And right here, like instead of spraying here, you should be tapping and bursting, and like we'll see what happens. Try to control it. You might hit him like again the wall. Like if this wall was in here, this guy's probably fucking dead, right? But you know, it's there, so unlucky. So to go back normal speed,
It's fine. I don't know.
One enemy
and again we can see their full body there. We can spray. Boom, good to go.
Oh, guys, I'm so excited. I'm playing Cyrus the Virus.
Cyrus the Virus.
So
Surprised I didn't die fast.
It's actually really simple to play retake on B with Cypher. Even like if you're in like a 4 or 5 man stack, just telling your friends like, hey, go fucking stack towards A, right? We'll be set. Like literally, like we could just play retake and then you have your cam in a good spot. And so like one thing to note is you're taking way too long. Obviously you like went towards A and you had to come back B, but in that situation, like because you have you're coming late, there's certain spots like you can't like be willing to go. Like unless you put all your shit right here in hookah, like you can't be going back and forth like in a triangle long, then you know hookah and then trying to put your cam up, right? So there's actually a lot of different setups you can do with trips, right? Just based off like if you put both your trips on one side, like let's say you do double hookah, which is actually totally fine, then putting your camera long right here along this wall, you actually have all of the site covered. They can't run into hookah without breaking your trips. And if you put one right here at the entrance, then you know they're not out, even if they do break the hookah, the first hookah one, right? And then you can still stay on your camp. And while your camp's here, it covers the long run in. They can't run in long as long as your camera's here, so you have nothing to worry about, right? So that's just one way to put your trips into ideal situations, so you don't like, you literally can like double trip somewhere, so like you could catch them off, right?
One hookah.
But just that's just food for thought.
Caught one.
That one.
reloading.
My eyes are down.
I think it's good.
148 on Jet. She's the only one who could go.
Cage wire destroyed.
2 HP. They're running back, I think now. Yeah, they're going in. They're going in. They're going in.
So this is one thing that happens when people over rotate, is that
Jet's
they'll
2 HP.
Could be CT. Could be
they'll
could be
TP on bind,
lurked down
right?
the
So that's just something to keep in mind.
Or heaven. Whichever.
If you are the anchor on any site, it's in your best interest, unless they are on-site planning, to hard anchor and just staying on site until bomb is
Both 2 towers.
spotted because it dropped or because
One
they are
enemy
planning.
remaining.
I need for triple. Fly towers.
Pick up a gun. There's so many guns around you.
You failed. Now
Damn right we're crushing it.
yes,
I think
this
raise
should
chat.
do.
How do I do it?
This goes here.
You press escape
Yep.
on
My intel. The hell. Ah, this is a nice spot.
It's ahead.
Are they on site?
Yeah, in
Yeah.
towards
Yeah.
you
Cage
all.
wire
Yeah, yeah,
destroyed.
So okay, so we know there's one guy late. Like, you usually don't have to overexpose yourself, right? As long as you have your tripwires up. So like you have the tripwire in deep hookah, right? You have the tripwire long octagon garden area. Like you could just be chilling until either like they break it, or if your camera's not in a good spot, then that's when you have to peek out, right, and kind of overexpose yourself. But with Cypher, you can literally just hide in a corner, hide back sight, hide anywhere really. I would actually be playing sight a lot against this team because I know the Jet's gonna dash, the Omen might TP, and they don't have the Sova to kind of clear out the corners, so that could be really really good for you. But that's just something in mind. Like you have to like keep in mind like who am I playing against, and based on who I'm playing against, where should I be playing? If I'm playing against a Raze and she knows how to throw good utility in hookah, like she'll use her utility in hookah, I can start playing corners, right? But if she doesn't use her utility in hookah, then maybe I put my trips in hookah to kind of scare him, and then hide like somewhere in sight, like not in the corners because she can nade it, right? Again, this is just food for thought, maybe to elaborate more on thought process. So there were two here. Right? One broke your trip in hookah, one broke your trip long, and then the jet TP'd. And then again, as an anchor, you need to be staying. Like even if your teammates call it it's A. Like until they say, hey, bombs being planted or bombs dropped, you should not be rotating because of this situation right here, where if everyone rotates over and they break your trips, you guys don't have the B site anymore.
One y'all, one y'all.
Like you got to think to yourself, like when was that first trip broken? How long ago was my long trip broken? And then based off that timing, like in your head, right? This has to be something that's going on in the background of your head, like where they can be at. So you should be thinking to yourself, okay, this guy could have got timing on elbow, and there might be a few more seconds if he keeps walking, where before he can peek me, right? Or he could possibly off the timing peek me. But like if he's running, you'll hear him, so the timing will be a little bit quicker. But if he's walking the entire way here, and it'll be like maybe like 4 seconds until you can peek this. So boom, good crosshair placement, right? You're aiming for the most part head level, and you are aware that there could be elbow here, and it looks like Cypher's towards here, right? You still have cam. I think a bait cam would be your best bet here, like using your cam and making them shoot it, right? Just trying to figure out where they're at. Now they could be in the smoke. This is a really risky play to do, right? That guy shooting could be baiting for him.
Get out of my way.
There you go, finally use the cam. One more there. You also heard another trip there. Unlucky. It was a good shot on the Phoenix. That guy just was able to get the trade like he shouldn't have. And your team was able to get the trade too.
I can give you my
Oh yeah. Mars?
Need a drop.
Someone, I can buy someone.
Hey, give me a judge. Give me a judge.
A judge?
Yeah.
Where you work best.
No, I want Jet's judge.
That goes there. Yes, this should do. This goes here.
Joke's over! You're dead!
that's short.
Nothing.
The hunt begins.
114 on the. Stay alive if I heard.
Planning. There you go. Rotate over. Excellent.
Spike planted.
Team was hitting good shots. Alright, so again, this is like a bad crosshair placement here. You weren't aiming your crosshair kind of where they could be at and peeking you. And you were kind of swinging this fast, so you would be exposed to this angle possibly. And this angle here, it just depends on where they're at. So that's just something to keep in mind here. Like maybe if your crosshair was a little bit closer to where he was at, you might have been able to get a shot off and kill him. But again, it really depends. And again, this is like a really hard angle to fight sometimes, just because we don't know if they're going to be in this left corner, this right corner, or peeking down like this. There's 3 different spots. We don't know where they're going to be hiding at or peeking from. So let's fast forward to the next round here. Teammates probably lose this one. Yeah, saves it. So now we come to the next round. And it really looks like they're going towards
My
A a
thanks.
lot. I would be telling your teammates, just expect the A rush every time. They're not coming to me, right?
Yes, this should
I'm
do.
gonna listen long and stay there. I'll just run up.
That goes there. Oh, this is a nice spot.
Also, like one thing to keep in mind is if you get on your camera early enough, right? This is what your goal should be. You can listen for sound cues because a lot of the times they're going to be running up either long, and you can hear this, right? You can hear long run up or you can hear mid run up, right? And that's something that's like a really good information. So you can calm to your teammates, hey, I hear like 1 towards B only, right? Careful A. I hear 2 towards B. I hear 3 towards B. Can we get another rotate, right? Or like I hear 3 towards B. Can you guys push towards A, right? Push A and get some controls. Only 2 guys there,
Hear anything, B?
and that's what you do. You do call that. It's really good.
Nothing, B.
So you should be telling your Rain, yo, Rain, I hear nothing. She gets fucking bobs. The guy's fucking walking up.
Pocket, pocket, pocket.
I know exactly
They're
where
on
you
A, 1B.
Oh, if he would have got that kill, it would have been big. They just TP'd
Back
over.
B, they're going back B.
Have all of them.
I like this decision making here to maintain long control. This is really big, right? Site being on site could not be so bad because maybe you might play off your trips, right? And then you also have a cam and hookah, which is really good as well. But I like this. I like just maintaining long. If they come towards A, then or sorry, if they come towards B, like it's gonna be hard for them to retake. They have to get elbow control.
Backside. 80 on hit.
No hard.
One elbow, elbow, on elbow.
You should have kind of expected them to be elbow. If they know you're long, they're more than likely gonna push elbow here. So you don't overexpose yourself to elbow and your peaks and your positioning. You were kind of too focused on sight. There's no way they're all gonna be sight, right? Like jet planner spike on bomb on B, right, is fine. Like you should kind of expect one guy to be there because he planted pretty relatively soon. But I would just maintain long. You still had a trip long, I'm pretty sure. So you could have gone to your camera and kind of cleared out hookah for them with your cam. Just kind of get spot and see how many numbers are there. So like one guy there maybe, one guy sight, the other two guys unknown. I would assume, you know, both of them are probably towards elbow. One guy could be hiding like in a corner, like in tube or behind double stack.
Bro, he just
So that, again, that's just game sense and kind of knowing where they're going to be at based off what you do and what your teammates are doing and where they're at, right? Like they have to like push into something.
Dude, that's scary
And
as
it's
fuck.
probably they're not going to just fall all off back to hookah or play on site. That's really, really dumb. Now they definitely could, but they're boxed in and they know you're long, right? Because you're the Cypher last seen them long. So they should be like, assume they're a little bit smart. Like they're not going to like assume that you're not long there. They're going to assume that you could be long. And until noted otherwise, they'll assume you're long. And so I don't like this, right? Like use your both trips here, hookah, and then you just have your cam in here too. What's the point? That means you have to hard contest long by yourself, or like, you know, someone has to hard contest it, not by yourself. But with your body, if they do, like you have to eventually spot this. So honestly, like I said before, putting your cam towards long, if you're gonna double trip in the hookah, which I'm a fan of, double tripping in hookah is really good. It's just my opinion.
Okay, I'm walking down long. He's gonna hold the corner. Get in the corner.
So you take off one of your
Dash away,
trips.
he could-
And like I said, getting on your camera early, but we did hear them shooting because they're kind of dumb. So
Let's go gay.
One more. He doesn't know you're off.
you should just be hiding right here, right? Like just waiting for them to come in, and if they decide to jump in, you can pop your cage on top of you. If they go past you, you can just punish them for it.
They didn't push through yet. They fell back, Luka.
Bro, that stupid lurker like 3 times now. Bro, they ran so fast. They're going in now.
Yeah, I'm saying sure.
Spike planted.
These kids play so
Yeah, you can't run there. Like, you have to walk because you're like, sure they're planning the bomb, but you have like 40 seconds to get there. Taking your time and just making sure you're not caught off by these angles, like you're just giving this guy a free kill by running down. Like if you just pre-aim and clear your corners, you can be really meticulous here because it'll only take you like 20 seconds to walk up, right? And if you kill the guy, then you can start running because obviously your position's given up. You can just start leaning more toward and like going quicker. But yeah, let's just digress that and go towards the next round. So you guys should be saving.
Thank you.
I think your teammate dropped. Or still has the op, sorry.
Oh, this is a nice spot. This goes here.
I can buy you.
Oh.
I can offer them armor. Request?
I need my thanks.
Taking way too long to request a gun here.
No more charges left.
Long up.
Cage triggered. Tripwire destroyed.
Triple hookah.
One garden.
Enemy spotted.
Tripwire destroyed.
Almost wasting a flash there.
They're gonna go in.
Yeah, they're at CB.
Cutting their vision.
Our teammate's in a really good spot. The only thing you have to worry about is someone creeping up towards short. That would really suck.
No more charges left.
Still inside.
And I'm gonna throw a shit smoke. They can creep behind the back of that.
I think they go back. Yeah.
Like
Put
that.
down.
5v2. I probably wouldn't waste ulti here. I mean, you could if you really want to, just to find out where they're at.
One enemy remaining.
Bomb here. Wait, one. CT, push CT, push CT.
Cage triggered. That goes there.
They're broke. Gonna lie.
Body, Striker.
Ah, this is a nice spot.
We're smoking off it.
Nothing be long.
Pushing it.
Cam in shower.
One pocket.
I killed.
I'm holding
Shower's a
default.
lot.
I'm holding default.
So I'm like, I would just chill here. Spike's been killed though, so that's when I would rotate. That's my cue to rotate. As long as I have both trips up, I know they're not going to be able to creep through B. But you just have to keep in mind that your trips, they can jump over, right? So whenever you put low trips like this, you cannot assume the bomb or the bomb site is, you know, under control, because they could easily just jump over it, especially if they know a lot of you guys have rotated off. If they don't hear your camera going off either, then that's just something to keep in mind.
Cam showers.
Fucking could have been B.
Could easily be shower still. No one's been close there, right? Like if we noticed in the past like 5 seconds, like let's just see everyone's position, right? Omen was kind of peeking close to it, wasn't here right away, but let's look how long it is. Like since he leaves it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So like again, it's just like 7 seconds. Like this guy could literally be anywhere. He could have gone short to, you know, around here. He could have been in shower still. Like just something to keep in mind. Okay, and he was short market. Alright, let's just make sure we did see him on market. Or
Cam showers.
okay, he was short.
No, he's
Boom,
short.
1, 2,
He cam
3,
showers.
4. Yeah, he could easily gone towards showers off of that timing.
We just saw him short. We just saw him short.
But yeah, they just did him short. So sorry, that was my bad. I wasn't paying attention to the minimap there. So, but again, just something to keep in mind. Be sure you always look at your minimap. It's always going to be your best friend.
I shut it in. That's why. Are you gonna smoke like down on the bottom?
Yes,
Outside B, outside B, outside B.
Camera taken out.
So yeah, it sucks when you like you use your camera and they break it right away, right? Because your camera's down for 45 seconds. That's almost half the round, and that means you're half the round without a cam. So it could like that's a, like really personally for me that's really bad. And you kind of want to have your camera up at all times, because if you put it in a really good spot, they'll never break it, and there's a lot of free info you can get.
They smoke it?
So I know I'm regurgitating some of the same points over and over again, but it's just to stress how important it is. And I would kind of be close to the smoke here, getting ready to swing off your trip if they run into it.
Smoking off elbow? Phoenix elbow?
Phoenix long.
So like also you should be getting ready to swing off your teammates' contact here, because if you look, right, because thankfully in this game we can see our teammates positioning through smokes and walls. This should help you kind of like learn, or at least know where you need to be. Like your teammate's obviously going to get contact here. There's nothing he can do about it. He could smoke, you can cape for him to get out, but he has a shotgun, he wants to play close. You should get ready to swing off that contact. And it looks like you kind of are, which is really good. Alright, you peeked it. You don't need to peek it, remember that.
Ran back.
Blocking sight.
We're getting the rifle. They're
You
going
should
in.
all do that. Yes, excellent.
Reloading.
They're all towards there.
Bro, I'm running head tap. Like,
One's out showers. Planning default.
Spike planted.
I know exactly where.
Reloading.
Joke's over! You're dead!
Careful about that smoke.
Blocking sight.
Nice, good kill.
Short, short.
One enemy remaining.
Nice, good kill. Last guy was short.
Last player standing.
To the right.
100 HP.
Holy, that was unlucky.
Dude. Oh my god. Bro.
That was unlucky. Just had to hit those shots right. If we just had like if you just hit a headshot there, like hold on, sorry, I just want to rewind a little bit.
Last player
So
standing.
again, we'll just kind of see.
100 HP.
Oops. So look at the crosshair placement here. We want to try to keep it head level whenever we can. That way when we flick, we don't have to go further than we have to. Right? If you're right here, this distance, right, is shorter than this distance, right? Pythagorean theorem right there. That's a triangle. So like again, just think about like the difference it would be if your crosshair was up here and then all you have to do was select like that. It's sure it's like what 1/100th of a second, but again, sometimes people are quick enough. Sometimes that time matters, and you flick over. Oh, actually, let me slow this down so we can kind of see what happens. Oh, we over flick, right? Over flick, bring it back, over compensate for it, and we can't spray and kill him. So that's a spray control. That's a crosshair placement kind of thing. That's a flick kind of thing, and it's kind of a spray control kind of thing again, right? So if you want to practice your flicks and your crosshair or your flicks, you could do like aim lags or kovacs, right? Crosshair placement, you just got to know where head level's at, and that's either by you can constantly DM and try to find markers on where head's at, because eventually you will understand like, oh, this is the player's height because they're all the same height, and this is where I have to put my crosshair all the time, right? You have to be constantly thinking about that thing when you're talking about head level placement, right? And then spray control, obviously DM, the range, just learning how to control that spray. And because there are no spray patterns in this game compared to Counter-Strike, it could be a little bit more difficult.
Cage triggered.
So they know you're long.
Why destroyed?
Get on your cam. Like, you don't have to peek this, right? You don't have to peek this. Like, you can literally hide in this corner here because you didn't see anyone else long. And we at least know the Omen is towards A, and the Phoenix, and I think the Cypher were spotted towards, yeah, because Cypher cage is there. Cypher and Phoenix were towards B. So like you can literally hide here in this corner and just get on your cam to kind of see how close they are, right? So
God,
it's-
Cage triggered.
so dog shit. Think they're gonna run back. Yep.
so it's like, why,
Peek
like
close.
imagine having that camera and letting them know, oh, they're not out yet, guys, right? Like I don't see anything out. Like this is way too late. Like they could have been walking back hook on you and could have timed you. It would have been really unlucky.
Spike planted.
You recon. Nice. You recon and ult.
One y'all.
Last player standing.
Green box.
So they're both backside, right? It's planted save. You need to be getting over here to triple. This guy could either be backside though, and he is. All right, you know, last guy CT. You saw him CT. You can literally just, nope, can't defuse the bomb. He had a molly. That's unfortunate, right? So that's like as soon as like we saw that guy run back to CT, like getting there, tapping the bomb or holding it even, and just falling off once he mollies it. It's gonna be the only play you can do, and hopefully, like if he does throw that molly, you don't die to it. That's like the only thing that could possibly change up that round, and you possibly clutching it.
That goes there. This goes here.
Okay, so one thing you can do is you can kind of the only way you die honestly is if they dash out, but you can get that cam really deep behind this column here, right? And it offers good protection from them seeing it, and also lets you peek in too short. So if you have a trip here, they don't break it. You know all this is clear, and the only spot he can be at is here, right? You'll see him fall back. If he wants to push forward, he'll break your trip, and then your cam will see the long run up. So again, this is just something a little bit more advanced that maybe you might want to do in the future. And you have to be careful about peeking this because they could have, you know, maybe an op or, you know, a couple people posted here. So it looks like you want to wait for your cam to be up.
Cage triggered.
Alright, so mid.
One there, two there. So I'm be like, all right, fuck this. I would put no, I would not put my cam here. They're gonna easily destroy it. You know they're gonna run up. You can hear them, right? They're not gonna walk up. If they walk up, they run to the strip. Either they break it or they have to go all the way around, right? As I'm running back, there's actually an angle. Let's see if we can get this right. You can throw this from elbow, right? Like right here, like behind cover. If you fall back, you can throw it on this wall right here, right? If you put a camera and it's behind them, most of the time they're not gonna know where it's at, or they'll be scared to break it because their back will be turned to where the opponents could be at. And especially in lower levels like this, they don't like breaking shit for some reason. In Diamond, Platinum, they don't like breaking shit. Like Sova Drone, they don't want to break it even though they know they're there, right?
My camera is destroyed.
And like I said, your cam's in a really easy place. They can easily break it. in a dumbass spot for some reason. You just need to chill in this corner, right? You need to chill here. Like, you can't be hiding because they can easily, like I said, they can come out and just run around the trip or break it or jump over it. So you kind of need to have some visual on it. And again, your crosshair placement, like, really, really bad right now.
I'm in TP. Don't worry.
Like, again, if we were to look at, like, if they're, like, I don't even know why you're looking over here. You should be focused on this side. But,
30
like,
seconds
they come
left.
up there, you got to know, like, use your right now as a reference here.
She didn't dash in.
I would just save my cam.
Spike planted.
Could be C2.
No, okay.
Could be hard left. Nice. Good pre-fire. Like, this is all things you should be
Last
doing.
player
You
standing.
know he's in the short cubby.
One's
Yeah, you pulled down too quickly there.
Oh my. Keep blinding, bro.
This is a little too high. That should be fine.
how were we?
Yeah, Cypher, go showers.
Okay.
Has to be invisible. Yeah. I'm gonna be late showers, so.
You could always cross.
My eyes will tip the balance.
Two. There's two here. Flop.
Can't, no flash.
Revealing area. Star removed.
In smoke.
So right here, this was a really bad decision by you to try to throw your camera out. There's no reason. You have the dart coming in. The dart lands in like a relatively normal spot. It's going to clear your close right for you. They can't hide from it. The only spot they can hide at is behind bench right here in this cubby. But if your teammates are up short, there's no smoke here. They can easily clear that for you, right? But it looks like there is a smoke there. So that's like, again, when you come out, like, as long as it doesn't ping anything, like obviously they could be front triple, right? But front triple and then right here in bench corner are the only two spots that can really be able to kill you.
Cypher, watch your
I
back.
got the spike.
Camera taken.
Unlucky.
Prepare for that.
And then
Probably just.
This should be an eco round. This should be a pretty
Where are you?
quick round. I might just like go through this really fast.
cage
Long,
trigger.
long.
Well. Can like.
Word of wisdom, right, from a Cypher main to another Cypher player. You should always maybe go into a custom or start learning, like in a game like this, right? Kind of figuring out where can I put my trips at against a wall so I don't have to come and line it up, right? Where's the crouch headshot level, right, for my trip laser beam, so I know they can't crouch under it. Where do I have to line it up so I can throw it from, you know, a little bit further back, so you don't have to waste time coming and lining it up, right? Because then maybe you throw trips on B, then you go towards A, right? Because you guys are working towards A, you don't want them to push into B. Like, where do I have to line this up at so I know they can't jump over it, but as well as like I don't have to go and personally run up and trying to place it right like this.
On top of truck.
Nothing long, one long.
No more charges left.
He was trying to get orb.
Could be in this.
Dropped on top. Dropped.
And push it through short B. That's something you have to keep in mind.
One
Jets
was
hit
push up
134
mid.
on A. Jets 1 HP on A.
Pretty sure it's one of these cubbies.
Cubby's clear.
1 HP. Literally 1 HP.
Enemy down.
They played Glassy or they.
One enemy remaining.
They didn't break your trips yet. The only thing you have to really worry about is if he TP'd and someone didn't hear it. You guys are a little bit too far. You guys, once you come out of showers, you can't really hear the TP that well.
Go to your cam.
Yep, I was about to say, you shouldn't cam there. shouldn't cam there because you could easily get bops because you can't see back CT, right? No one's looking at back CT. You could easily walked in, and that's what happened.
Peek 'em, don't peek.
Yes, win that round, Poggers.
Towers and guys.
And again, like if we like learn some like okay, so like right here, where's headshot level? Okay, it looks like it's about like one of these, like one circle, like below the top right here, right? So when you put this down, like boom, okay, this is where it's headshot level if I'm crouched. Like it looks like if I had another one of these like right here, it looks like it's one full circle down from this where the box ends, you know? Where this box means this box, that line, one circle down, boom, that's right here. And then you could throw that from across the map. Not across the map, but like, you know, cross spawn area. So you don't have to be right here doing this if you want to work somewhere else. Because again, in this game, timing is everything. If you don't have the good timing, there's a lot of things people can get away with. But obviously you're working towards B. Like all you have to worry about now is if they push down hookah like they did last round. Your teammate's up. You don't really have to worry about him. Like you won't be able to trade him if the guy's in this like garden area. So like you should have been kind of a little more careful, a little more scared about the hookah push because they did do that last round. Guy gets gunned down because the guy's cam's behind. I would have caged off elbow here.
Cage triggered.
There's 3 on B. There's 3 on B. Go ahead.
And that's the power of a cam behind, you know? Like you're trying to look for it, and then these guys are peeking out. You expose yourself to the guys on site because you expose your back to the guys on site, and that's what happens.
Playing really ants because it's not.
Ah, this is a nice spot.
I'm gonna flash the corner. You're gonna smoke close sight in heaven. He could be in smoke.
The hunt begins.
I'm blind. Wait, give it a sec.
Blinding.
I'm blind again. He's in the smoke.
You guys, he's triple obviously from where the sound's coming from, right? Back right area triple. Also, don't put your cam up. You can literally just save your cam and just have your gun out when people are running in. As the worst thing like you want to happen to you as an entry player, right, where your teammates, your arena, or your omen here in this situation is they go in first, they die, but because you have a cam out or you're jacking off in a corner somewhere trying to put your cam, instead of you just having your gun out and just swinging with them and trading, it would anger me. It would tilt me the fucking off the ends of the fucking earth. Okay, so it's just something to keep in mind. So I don't care about this, but yeah. So just don't worry about your camera until after you guys establish bomb site,
This goes here.
because like I said, you want to be able to trade out your teammates if they go in first and die.
That goes there.
Also, with that strip, they can jump right here. If they're really good with movement, they might be able to jump over this if they come from the other side. There's something to keep in mind. But like, you're holding for the B push, so it's fine. But like, if you guys go B with these strips for some reason, and some guy goes long, they could easily just jump over it. They're really good. And we know the Phoenix is there because he TP'd with his ult. The Reyna was here. Again, the only way you're gonna kill that guy is if you have your crosshair headshot placement, and your crosshair was way too low.
Their vision.
TPP. So smoke front.
This goes here.
Shadows traveling.
Green sight.
Revealing area.
Enemy spotted. Reloading.
TP.
Cage triggered.
Cutting their vision.
Your pathing here needs to be a little bit better. So if our Omen's not throwing smokes, because you just used both the smokes on A and you guys were trying to sell an A fake, when you jump out here, your goal is not to your goal is to try to get onto bomb safely, right? Because you have the bomb, right? You have to come plant the bomb. So as you're coming in, don't jump out in a straight line like this where you're exposed to CT. Because again, we don't have a smoke. So unless you cage it, don't jump this right side, right? You should be jumping and coming to the left because you want to be covered from 2. Like from CT by 2. You know, and look at that. You take so much damage because of your pathing here that it just makes it very unfavorable for you guys to win.
Planted the spike.
Don't run in front of the fucking guy.
Enemy spotted.
Now is obviously gonna happen. Like you're trying to put your like I would not put like I would put my cam on top of the bomb in this situation or like somewhere on site. Like trying to run and put in hookah for some reason. Like you're gonna have to stay on site. You're 5 HP. You're just asking to get killed very very easily. But one shot, all to do is breathe on you, right? So your best bet is to try to stay on site. Like maybe just even stay on top of the bomb, because I mean the only thing you really have to worry about is a Phoenix Molly to do damage to you, and you can easily like I think you had a cage still, right? You could use the cage yourself and hide in the cage and then try to get like a quick double dink on someone and kill them with the Spectre. But, like you again, like trying to like trying to put your camera there and like not giving a shit about anything else that's happening on site. Like your sub is ulting, like they could easily just push the silver ult and kill him. No one's really covering him. That's what happens.
We gotta pick.
Looks like we're coming on the last round here.
This is a nice spot.
I would cam the corners, see if they're there, peeking with an op perhaps. Cypher's here. Teammate is droning to
Still in sight.
close. I can get spray there, aiming straight at the chest, stomach area. Get pre-fire on that fucking trip. He's placed there quite a bit. One more elbow. Okay, all we have to do now is worry about post plants. It's 4v3. It's easily losable. You should recage this and get to long. You do not need to be pushing this, and you push it.
I know it.
Like, there's no reason to push that. What's the reason? Like, we know he's elbow, right? We have bomb down, so time's against him. If you guys had elbow control in the beginning, like while you guys are either planning the bomb or before you guys planted the bomb, then this is fine, right? But because you guys don't have this control, you're unnecessarily fighting for this by yourself. Maybe if you had a teammate there, it could have been a little bit better because then someone could trade with you. But because you have no one there, right? This is kind of like the result of that. Like trying to make an individual play when it's not needed. If you guys are down 3v4 and you push, oh, by all means do it. Because you guys are down 3v4, you have to make some kind of play in order to kind of even up the numbers to put that pressure. Because otherwise, if it's a 4v3 against you guys, they can have one guy defuse bomb and then 3 guys look for you, each single one of you. Right. So either way, it's going to require a play if you guys are down numbers. But anyways, this is the conclusion of my VoD review for you. And I'm just going to summarize some major points. First one, crosshair placement. Aim in general, right, could be a little bit better. Just, crosshair placement, trigger discipline, spray control. You need to work on all three. It's not the worst thing in the world. I've seen fucking golds fucking play. But as a diamond, and if you want to get better as a diamond player and get higher rank, you need to improve it, right? Because with that kind of aim, you're not going to get away with it a lot in Immortal, right? And that's the only way you can get away with this kind of aim in Immortal is if you can outplay them really, really hard. And from right now, like I really can't judge to see like how good your game sense and your game IQ is. Right now you're kind of neutral territory for me because I didn't see too much of it. But yeah, that concludes the first point. Second point is util usage, kind of where you put your trips and how you play around it. Based on their lineup, honestly, like your camera and your trips are sometimes redundant, right? There's no point in putting your camera in a spot where your trip's going to be at because your trip basically gets the info that your camera can get as well. The only thing I would change up about, like, if you're going to put trip and camera, is putting your trip in a very obvious place and then just have your camera on top of it. But then that kind of just be a waste of a trip. So, like, putting your camera in good spots so they can't break it. Like I said, putting it against the wall behind so they have to turn around to shoot it is always going to be, like, one of the best things you can do. Because most of the time, if you put it at a higher elevation behind them, they're not going to clear that. 90% of the time, even in Immortal, even in scrims against, tier 2 teams, they don't clear that. And it's really, really easy to get information off of it, okay? And then my third point would kind of be positioning. You kind of look lost in some of your positionings here, and you kind of don't know where to be at. Like, working off your teammates, right? Like, when I mentioned that Jet, when she has a shotgun close long, you should be closer in that smoke getting ready to swing once she gets contact instead of kind of, like, jacking off. Like, if you don't know where to be at, sometimes just looking at where your teammates are at and kind of seeing how you can play off your teammates is your best bet, right? If your teammate, like, okay, so like I said, Jet's close long, obviously you want to be close to swing off the smoke. If your Rain is in this corner, maybe playing in this corner so you can be the first contact for her so she doesn't have to get contact on site and be surprised that, oh, they walked up on site because you're kind of like hiding. Even though you do have a trip on the ground, they can easily walk around it. They can jump out of hookah. They can walk out of hookah, right? Those are all things you have to kind of be aware of, and just good, better positioning could help yourself get kills as well as help your team have good information or play off of you a little bit better, or you play off of them a little bit better. All right, so that's going to conclude this VoD review. I hope you enjoyed it. hopefully you wrote down some notes. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me on Discord, Reddit, Twitter, wherever. All right. Anyone else that wants to, if you are interested, like I said, contact me on my socials and we can get in touch and we can go over a VoD review if you really want to. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.
Pokemon, Mega Evolution, Science, Cockfighting.